What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about lack of spiritual protection. I'm also gonna talk about a lot of toxic people living in this world. A lot of like spiritually sick, damaged people who don't seem right in the head. I'm also gonna talk about the corruption of the society and in this world, right? So and money control. So let's get to it. So um so when it comes to spiritual protection, this is my opinion, but based on my observation, I see these spiritual channels, other people talk about spirituality and shit like that. They always talk about, or especially with these chosen one channels where people talk about chosen ones, they always mention you're always spiritually protected, or you have a lot of spiritual protection, or your spiritual team, or your ancestors, or the universe, or God is watching over you. I never understood when people say that shit. I mean, I get where they're coming from, and they could be right. They could be, and they always say shit like, usually chosen ones. And when people talk about chosen ones, they're pretty much talking about people who have like a lot of spiritual experiences or phenomena, or like they go through similar like situations as them. I don't believe in the word chosen one, but I more so believe in like the things they go through, if that makes sense. I don't believe in the label, but I do believe in like there are certain people who go through more spiritual experiences, who go through more shit and traumatic shit, and who's able to overcome a lot of other shit spiritually compared to the average person. So, and when these people talk about chosen ones and this and that, they always talk about like I said before, you're spiritually protected, or you have spiritual protection, or like God's watching over you, which they could be right, but at the same time they could be wrong. Because if we're so spiritually protected, or if we're favored by God, these people claim to be, or like we're favored by the universe, or and shit like that, then why is it that like me and a certain people, we always get attacked? And people want to say, oh, the enemy is attacking you, or like the devil's using different vessels from people to attack you and shit. And I'm just like, well, yeah, but like just the fact that we're getting attacked in the first place, everything happens for a reason. Now, this video is my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. This is how I observe shit. So if you don't agree with me, then there's nothing wrong with that. But this is how I observe shit. This is my own opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. But I believe everything happens for a reason, and everything is pre-planned without like I feel like we have free will, but we don't. I feel like people are meant to be put into abusive situations that's out of our control. I feel like as souls or as spirits, we either chose to come down here to experience certain shit so we could, because it's part of our mission, or because of karma, because we got to clear out karma from other people's bullshit, like breaking generational curses from family bloodlines. But also like I also believe that people go through horrible shit is because they've done horrible things in the past life. So it could be either of the three, in my opinion, right? But how I look at it is this: regardless, I feel like because you have certain people who go through abusive situations, who get spiritually attacked by certain family members, by certain people and shit like that all their lives. I know people through YouTube who's been pretty much spiritually attacked by their family members, by like co-workers, by so-called friends. Like they'll just switch up on them and they'll try to gang up on them and attack them and shit, right? And I've experienced this shit myself a lot as well, and a lot of people as well. This is where you get you're the same soul tribe, your same soul family, soul group from, right? Where people go through similar experiences as you, and they have the same spiritual calling as you, but in different ways and shit, because we all have a different purpose. But how I look at it is, I just don't understand when people say you're spiritually protected, or like God or the universe, they're watching over you, or like you're being divinely guided. I feel like that's bullshit, because like just the fact that we're even put in a position where we're being attacked and vulnerable. Some people have thoughts of committing suicide. Some people even attempted to commit suicide. You know, like they're down bad. Like their finances gotten taken away from them. Like that they're homeless and shit like that. So a lot of evil shit. I know people who developed like years of mental trauma and mental health illnesses because of the people they've dealt with. But yeah, people want to say, oh, you're spiritually protected, or God is watching over you. That's bullshit. And even if we aren't here to make it out, even if we still manage to come up to the top, and we still seem unbothered, or like we just, despite all the attacks, we're still protected in a way. That's still not spiritual protection. Just the fact that we're put into these situations. So just the fact that we're put into these situations, won't we be like, so are we, so does that mean, are we going to experience more abuse and spiritual attacks from people? And if that's the case, people may say, well, yeah, just the fact that the enemy or the devil or negative entities are attacking you, and you're still able to overcome it because that's spiritual protection. But I think that's bullshit, because just the fact that we're put in a position where we're being spiritually attacked, that's what I'm getting at. All I'm saying is that it's bullshit how like certain people, like like we really have certain. I understand everyone goes through their challenges and the setbacks, and everyone goes through dealing with retarded fucking people, right? We all go through hard times. It's the nature of this human experience. But what I'm saying is this, right? We do have certain spirits, certain people out here who do experience a lot of spiritual attacks and abuse from a lot of people. Me, I've experienced that shit a lot, and a lot of people as well. So, and it kind of pisses me off when I hear people say, "Oh, you're spiritually protected," or like, "Oh, God's watching over you," or "Your ancestors watching over you." Like, fuck them, man. Like, fuck my ancestors. First off, like me, like I came from a very dysfunctional family where I had to call them off. And you have other videos who talk about breaking generational curses and that, and even on Twitter, where these spiritual people always say like, "Oh, like your ancestors are proud of you," or like your ancestors are watching over you, or your ancestors are protecting you. I'm just like, in my mind, I'm just like, man, fuck my ancestors, fuck my family's bloodline, because they're the reasons why they're responsible for creating a lot of dysfunctional family bloodlines and creating a lot of trauma. That's their fucking fault. So why the fuck should I bow down to them or fucking rely on them for my spiritual protection? Fuck my ancestors, man. Like, fuck them. Fuck my family's bloodline. They're responsible for creating all this bullshit. And now people like me gotta come in here and break all these fucking generational curses. Again, these are my beliefs. You don't have to believe what I believe. And I personally believe, not my main mission in this life, but one of the missions in this life for me is to break generational curses. That's just my opinion. I could be dead fucking wrong. Maybe it is an ego thing. Who the fuck knows? But all I'm saying is, I don't agree when people say you're spiritually protected. Nah, that's bullshit, because we've been attacked all of our lives. If we're so spiritually protected, then why do we keep getting attacked over and over and over again? And if we really are spiritually protected and the enemy really is attacking us, do these dumbass people and shit, the reason why I believe in that, because not only I experience this shit, but a lot of people experience this shit as well on YouTube. But it's like, then that shows like, yes, we're doing really important things, but like, it's just crazy how shitty this world could be, where like, if you're meant to do great things in this world, you're going to get spiritually attacked. So not only in this human experience, you could create a lot of negative karma for yourself easily. There's a lot of temptations, but we're dealing with money enslavement. We're dealing with world corruption. And not only that, but if you're trying to do great things in this world, you're going to deal with being spiritually attacked. So imagine all this stupid ass shit. We don't have real control over our lives. Money controls us to the full extent. And people say like, and based on my understanding, I could be wrong, but in order for you to attract a lot of money, you have to be in the right alignment in a certain frequency. But it's just so hard to do that, because we're put into this world where we're constantly being traumatized. There's so much programming happening left and right. So it takes so long for the human body to heal, just to be in the right alignment. You gotta do all this bullshit. You gotta purge out all the traumas. You gotta cry it out. You gotta release anger and shit like that. And that shit will get you off your path, because you're so busy trying to do the healing work, and you can't even focus on your hobbies or on your goals and shit like that. At least for me. But again, this video is my opinion. This is how I'm observing shit. I could be wrong, or I could be looking at these situations the wrong way. But all I'm saying is this, right? Like, this is my opinion. There's no real spiritual protection. Yes, me and people who went through similar experiences as me are able to overcome and get through horrible shit. But at the same time, like, I highly doubt we're spiritually protected or in some way. I know, like, I'm not talking about like being unrealistic or like, oh, we should be entitled for protection and like people shouldn't mess with us. I'm not talking about that. I'm more so talking about like me and a lot of people. We've been through a lot of like crazy shit with like family members, with like people from the workplace. So we're dealing with a lot of stupid ass people, you know what I'm saying? And like we never, like, we're kind of forced to pick ourselves back up. But I don't know, man. I don't know. This is weird, but life is weird, man. But where was I? This is a very random topic, but I don't give a fuck. I'm speaking my mind, man. I'm gonna talk about shit. What else am I gonna talk about? I kind of forgot. I'm gonna talk about money corruption, right? No, I'm gonna talk about spiritually sick people. So the reason why there's a lot of like traumatized people and people who are spiritually sick is because we live in a corrupt world. Obviously, this world is ruled by money. There's nothing wrong with the money system. Just the money system is so limited and it's controlled by the wrong types of people who have an agenda to fuck shit up for a lot of people for their own selfish gain. And it's just crazy how a piece of paper can really control your life in a way. Again, there's nothing wrong with money, but it's the people controlling the money. That's the fucking problem. The people who are in power, that's the fucking problem. There's a huge imbalance with the money system. You can work your ass off your whole life and make thousands, millions of dollars. You'll be set. But at any given moment, the government can easily shut that shit down. Look what's happening to the banks. They're shutting banks down. You can easily get scammed. You get routed by money and shit like that. So, you know what I'm saying? So we live in a type of world where, like, you could work your ass off, but, like, you could get all of your hard-earned money getting taken away from you if someone were to rob you, someone were to, like, scam you in some way. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy how much money can make or break you. I was watching a video, and there's this homeless lady, and she was asking this guy, like she looked homeless, she looked sick and ill, and she was like, I need your help. I forgot what she said, but she said, I need your help. I want nothing but money. As long as you have money, that's all I need. And I'm looking, and I don't blame her, but I'm just looking, I'm just like, it's sad how much money really controls us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do shit without money. You think you could travel around the world? You think you're free? No, you're not. Don't work for a job for 5 years, and you're gonna see how free you are. Yes, you're free from being a slave, but you're not gonna have good hygiene. You're not gonna fucking travel around the world and this and that. And I understand, like everything revolves around money. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you can make money without having to work by making YouTube videos, by starting your own business, but that still requires work. It still requires energy. And not only that, but how are you supposed to make and generate money and shit through the fucking people? Everything revolves around fucking paper. Now, it gets complicated because some people say you can actually attract a lot of money. You can actually get a lot of money by being in the right alignment, by doing certain healing works and healing practices. And you can actually attract money without you having to work. You got to be in the right frequency and the right alignment. There's where people talk about law of attraction, or, you know what I'm saying, just shit like that. And I believe in that, but this is where I'm getting at. It's like, we're put into this world as babies, and since the human body is just so weak and fragile, it's so easy for the human body to develop a lot of trauma, to develop a lot of, like, mental health issues. And people like me and other people, as we're getting older, we're trying to heal from that shit. We're trying to overcome that shit. We're trying to purge all that shit out. But even then, it takes a lot of time. And so when there's certain people I watch on YouTube who say we don't have free will, but to a certain extent, I believe in them, because we don't. You can't just be like, I wish I have $100,000 by tomorrow. Next thing by tomorrow, you're not getting shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like, again, I could be wrong, but I feel like we're meant to go through certain experiences that deals with bullshit just so we can experience that shit, because the spirit, the spirit, the soul, it wants experiences, good or bad. And I understand that deals with our ego, but this is what I'm getting at. So when people talk about we're being spiritually protected, or God is watching over us, our ancestors are proud of us, I feel like that's bullshit, because all the abuse, all the attacks people are experiencing, all that shit is divinely orchestrated. All that shit was supposed to happen. This is my opinion. I don't believe people are attacked by accident or based on people's free will. I do believe we have free will, but only to a certain extent. I feel like a lot of people, they get spiritually attacked. People like me and other people that have similar life experiences as me, all this shit we've been through, it wasn't a coincidence. All this shit happened by default. All this shit was pre-planned. And I could back up my fucking theories, because, like, why is that me and a lot of people that I follow on YouTube, we all experienced damn near the same shit growing up with family members, with people, coworkers, and shit like that. But they call it spiritual attacks. So why is it that all of us are experiencing the same shit? We don't have free will. All this shit was meant to happen so we could experience what it's like to be abused, so we could overcome that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm getting at. It's like we don't have free will in this world. We don't. You can't just quit your job the next day and then make $1 million or be financially free. It's so hard to be financially free. You can't do shit like that. We don't have free will like that. We really don't. And even to create shit, even to be in a position where you can make shit happen for yourself, you have to do a lot of healing work, and that takes a lot of time, because the human body is not strong. People want to say the human body is strong. The human body is not strong. The human body is strong, then why does it take so long for the human body to recover from trauma and shit like that? Why is it like it's so easy for the human mind to develop a lot of mental health stresses and fucking trauma and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? So it's so easy for infants and childs and babies to create a lot of trauma at a young age. There's even a saying. What the fuck is that sound, man? I hate people make noises. I hate people when they drive, they make noises like that. Like they're trying to get a fucking ego boost with their bum ass fucking car that they get to pay all their money from. Why do people make noises when they drive cars like that? Stupid ass people, man. Fucking hate people like that. Damn, man. See that shit. See, congrats. That fucking car, it distracted me from making the video. So now I'm about to cut this shit short. But what I'm saying is this. See, I lost track. But so I'm gonna change my subject. So when it comes to money, when it comes to money control, it's crazy how much money has control over us. You can't. The more money you have, the more freedom you have. But it's just crazy how we have paper controlling us. Money has no real value. It's the energy, it's the people that put the importance of it, and it's so hard for people to get out of their situation or to create their own system or to be financially free, because as babies we're born into a corrupt world where we have no knowledge or information or any like realizations about, because as babies we don't have the mental capacity to even comprehend what the fuck is going on. So as we grow up, we're put into these schools that teach us nothing but bullshit, but we have to go along with the fucking system. And then as we get older, we experience high school, and then we develop a lot of like trauma through dealing with like dumbass people, and then we go to college. But you see how like there's no like growing up, we don't have the proper guidance on how fucked up this world is. And people want to say, oh, you're divinely guided or you're spiritually guided. That's bullshit. If we're so spiritually or divinely guided, then why the fuck is the world the way it is? Why is it that we're still experiencing some bullshit? Why is it that we're not making any changes to this world? You know what I'm saying? So it's just I don't know, man. It's just like I be watching some spiritual videos and shit. Like they be saying some bullshit. Like they just want to sound good. I mean, I'm not saying that they're right or wrong. What I'm saying is that like I don't know, man. I'm just saying like if we want real change, I don't have the answers to this shit too, but all I'm saying is that everything happens for a reason. Everything's not, I feel like everything, we don't have free will like that. We're just meant to go through certain experiences. We're just meant to navigate through life and shit like that. I do believe we have free will to a certain extent, but for the most part, we don't have free will. When it comes to like experiences and certain events and situations we're experiencing right now, I feel like all that shit is predestined and shit, good or bad, according to the ego. You know what I'm saying? But this video's all over the place. You guys probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just speaking from my mind. I just can't explain it in the right words through my mouth and shit like that. But yeah, and time has been speeding up extremely fast, so it's like you gotta have a sense of urgency when you're navigating through life now. We're not in the early 2000s. Ever since 2018, time has been speeding up extremely fast. So everything we do, we need, or if you want, you don't have to listen to what I'm saying, or who am I to say that? But at least for me, it's like I have to have a sense of urgency because time is speeding up extremely fast, and it's hard to get things done throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Life is a constant cycle of going through bullshit, going through trauma, and then you gotta heal from it, then you gotta overcome it. But people may say it's just you're changing your ego, you're just detaching from your ego. You know what I'm saying? So maybe part of the growing process or growth is through experiencing bullshit and pain within the human experience. Or I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. But life is short, so just follow your heart, do what you love, and don't even trip if bad shit happens to you. Just know that like there are ways to overcome it, but more so, this is why I say don't take life personally. All the bullshit and stupid ass shit you experience, more than likely, I don't like saying it's meant to happen, but more so like just look at life as like a fucking annoying, irritating video game to where like you're meant to experience certain bullshit just so you could overcome it and so you could grow and evolve and you could try to create a life for yourself that you want. You know, even though we're put in a very controlled, restricted environment. So, and life is short too. Like people pass away when they're like 50, when they're like 60. Like 80 or some shit. That's short, so just try to do what you love. Try to do a lot of healing work and good luck, because the timeline we're in is kind of challenging because time hasn't speeding up extremely fast. But I do believe there are solutions to every problem. It just takes time. But like, comment, subscribe, and have a good one. And this video is only my opinion. You ain't got to agree with what I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just speaking my mind. But have a good one. Peace.